It's late. So late it's basically morning. A holiday weekend. A street packed with people, noise, energy, chaos. And then, shots. Not one, not two. Enough that everyone in the crowd instantly understands the same thing. Run or get hit. And in the middle of that panic is a 28-year-old man named Derrick Davis. He's struck. Reports say he was hit from behind while a fight and crowd disturbance were unfolding. He gets to his vehicle and tries to get away from the danger. But the story doesn't end with escape. A short distance from where everything erupted, his car crashes, hard, flipping, tearing through the night, leaving wreckage behind.
And here's what makes this case sit heavy. A crowd that big means somebody saw something. A moment, a movement, a person with a gun, a car pulling off, a direction someone ran. But Derrick Davis dies after being taken to the hospital, and no one has been publicly identified as the shooter. This is one of those cases where the timeline is clear enough to outline, and the truth is still out there, stuck behind silence, fear, and a few missing minutes.
Emergency. No problem. All units are by 3012 with the water, 49 Hill and John Young Freeway. 1549519 East 28.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Crime Solvers Central. I'm Jace.
And I'm Charlie.
We came across Derrick's case and it grabbed us. It's not small, it's not simple. It's a case where the scene itself, lots of people, confusion, a fight, shots into a crowd, creates the kind of fog that can hide the truth in plain sight.
And we also think it matters to talk about cases like this because they can get treated as background noise. Another shooting, another headline, but that was a person, someone's family, someone's friend, but there's still no public resolution.
So, let's lay out the cleanest overview we can.
Here's what's been reported publicly. In the early morning hours of September 1st, 2024, a large crowd was gathered on the 400 block of State Street in Clairton. A fight or disturbance broke out, and during that chaos, shots were fired into the crowd.
Derrick Davis, 28 years old, reported as being from McKeesport, was shot. He managed to get into a vehicle and drive away from the immediate scene.
But about a mile away from where the shooting happened, he crashed, with reports describing the car flipping and striking or shearing a utility pole near State Street.
He was taken to a hospital, and he later died from his injuries. 2 other people were also injured in the shooting that night.
And importantly, investigators have continued asking the public for information, including follow-up coverage about the case still being unsolved and in need of tips.
That's the backbone. Now, let's talk through it like we're trying to picture that night. Because details matter, especially in crowd scenes.
New tonight, we're learning more about the man shot and killed in Clairton this morning. Police say Derrick Davis was shot and killed after a fight. 2 others were critically injured. KDKA's Shilakasia Dele spoke with his family.
Police say the man who died drove away from the scene after being shot. He then crashed his car right here. There's some bits of that car remaining. There were plenty of hugs in the parking lot of this speedway.
It was senseless and petty, and he didn't deserve it.
When you hear large crowd on State Street, you should picture what that implies. It's not a quiet corner with 2 witnesses. It's a lot of movement, overlapping arguments, people filming, people yelling, cars creeping through. music, everything that makes it harder to isolate one person's actions.
And from what's been reported, there's a key phrase that keeps showing up. A crowd of people fighting, or a fight breaking out with people around it. Then, shots fired. That's important because it suggests the shooting may have happened during a peak moment of chaos, when attention is split and people are reacting emotionally.
And it also raises the possibility that this wasn't some hidden, planned ambush in the dark. It might have been impulsive, or retaliatory, or connected to whatever sparked the fight. Or, equally possible, it could be someone firing into a crowd without caring who gets hit.
Right. And we have to be cautious there, because we don't know the shooter's intent. But we can talk about common patterns in crowd shootings.
The reporting says Derrick was hit, then got to his car and drove away. Then the car crash happens, roughly a mile away. That sequence matters because it adds a second traumatic event layered onto the first. Even if he survived the initial injury, shock, blood loss, pain, any of that can affect driving.
And psychologically, imagine it. If you've just been shot and you're trying to escape what you think is an active shooter situation, you're not calmly driving. You're in survival mode.
2 other people were reported injured that night as well. So you've got at least 3 victims, 1 fatal, which means there are also multiple victim witness circles. Friends, bystanders, maybe people who helped right after.
And here's where these cases often stall. People assume the police will figure it out, or they assume someone else will talk, or they don't want to be the person who becomes a target.
Plus, in a crowd, you get that weird diffusion of responsibility. There were hundreds of us. My detail doesn't matter. But investigations are built on small details.
Another point. Follow-up coverage a year later emphasizes investigators are still looking for suspects and still asking for tips, which tells you they don't have what they need publicly, or at least not enough to make an arrest that sticks.
So, Jace, what kind of evidence would matter here?
Phones, videos, ring cameras, business cameras, dash cams, social media lives, even someone texting "I just saw" at 4:05 a.m. And then there's the human memory side. Who was arguing with who? Was there a car that sped off right after shots? Did someone shout a name? Did anyone see a weapon being tucked away?
And you don't have to solve the case to be helpful. A tip can be as small as, "This person left right after," or "I remember that jacket," or "I saw someone ditch something."
Now, let's shift from the timeline into the bigger question. What are the most plausible paths to the truth here? That's where theories come in.
Davis and 3 others were shot Sunday morning near State Street and Shaw Avenue. It was after a fight broke out at what police called a large disturbance. The other 2 are expected to survive. The shooting startled neighbors like Carolyn Williams, who was about to go to sleep.
A reminder before we do theories. We're not accusing anyone. We're talking about possibilities that fit the known public facts. A fight, a crowd, shots fired, multiple victims, 1 fatality. Then a crash after Derrick tried to leave.
The first theory is the most straightforward. The shooting is directly connected to the fight. Someone involved, or someone who arrived with someone involved, escalates with a gun.
That scenario tends to produce witnesses who know exactly who did it. But those witnesses may also be the least likely to talk because they're connected to the conflict.
Second theory, someone fires into the crowd in a reckless, indiscriminate way. That can happen when someone feels threatened, wants to disperse people, or wants to prove something without a specific target.
And that can complicate motive. If it's indiscriminate, the shooter might not have personal ties to Derrick at all, which makes the identity harder to isolate unless you have video or a strong witness.
Third theory, mistaken identity. In chaos, people misread who's who. Someone thinks they're firing at a specific person, but Derrick is struck instead.
This also can fit cases where a shooter has a grievance, arrives looking for someone, and the crowd environment creates the opportunity for a tragic mistake.
Another angle, less dramatic but very real. The evidence might exist on a phone somewhere, but investigators can't connect it to a name. A blurry video is still huge if someone recognizes a face, a voice, a hoodie, or a car.
That's why public attention matters. One person's junk clip becomes the missing link when the right person sees it.
And the final theory is more about community dynamics. People know, but fear stops them. Fear of retaliation, fear of being labeled, fear of being dragged into court.
Which is why anonymous tip options matter so much in cases like this.
Which theory makes the most sense to you? Do you have a theory of your own? Please let us know in the comments.
If you have information about the death of Derrick Davis, even if it feels small, consider passing it to investigators. Allegheny County Police have publicly asked for tips in this case, including via their tip line at 1-833-ALL-TIPS.
And we want to be clear, we're not asking anyone to put themselves in danger. If you're worried about being identified, look for anonymous reporting options through the official tip lines.
Here's another thing. Go back through your media if you were there, or if you know someone who was. People record everything. You might have a clip that catches audio right when the shots start, a glimpse of someone running with something in their hand, a car fleeing, a face that someone else can identify.
And if you don't want to go directly to police first, you can also send information to Crime Solvers Central. We can help route tips to the proper authorities, or at least make sure your information is preserved and taken seriously.
If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share this episode, because shares are how the right person sees it. Also, turn on notifications to stay in the loop for our next video.
And if you're local to the area, share it in local groups. Sometimes a case breaks because one person hears one detail and realizes, wait, I know that.
Derrick Davis was 28 years old. A crowd was there. A shooter pulled the trigger. The truth exists in someone's memory or on someone's camera roll.
We're Crime Solvers Central. I'm Jace.
And I'm Charlie. Everyone, please stay safe, stay curious, and stay loud.